Come on, you apes, you want to live forever? Wait, I'm sorry, that's a line from Starship Troopers. I'm Joe Retton with my review of Liv Forever, the WWE documentary special on Liv Morgan. We find out how, things have gone for her over the last 18 months. Camera crew followed her, and we get to basically just see some behind the scenes stuff, and we get to find out more about her family life, how she grew up, how she achieved her dream of being in WWE, and how it hasn't been easy. Now she's put in the work, and she just wants to contribute. And she seems, finally centered with herself. And that's actually, that's something that we all desire. Now, I do want to say right now, I was not the biggest Liv Morgan fan in the first couple years. And it wasn't that I didn't think that she could have talent. I just didn't see the talent. When I first saw her, I go, cool, another conveyor belt blonde that they signed. And again, I could see a little pizzazz and a little energy, but I just didn't see that she had much beyond her appearance. I was like, okay, she's going to be just somebody that they bring in. She's going to be in and out in a couple of years. It's not that I wish that, but I was just like, okay, she's going to be, a flash in the pan. Now, thankfully, I've come around on Liv Morgan in the last few years, and I'm thankful that I have. And this documentary gave me a whole new appreciation for her. And you can really tell that she has struggled with a lot. She has done a whole lot, and she wants to achieve a whole lot. She's only 26 years old. The sky is the limit for her. I don't think she's going to be the absolute best ever, but she is going to leave her mark in WWE, and I hope that she really gets her opportunity. Her and Ruby Riott deserve the world, but Liv really has worked goddamn hard. She was determined to make it in WWE. I'm not going to go over every single thing, minute detail, but, she talks about her family life. This mainly, centers around the beginnings around the Superstar shakeup in Montreal, where the squad gets broken up. Sarah Logan, basically says there was no payoff. I used to have a running gag, along with a few other people, that the Riott Squad lost another 6-woman tag match during their entrance, because even though they were, doing what they could to make an impact from, November of 2017, they were always losing. They were losing so goddamn often. Just creative was just effectively burying them, and they were burying them, and you could tell that everybody in the group is frustrated. And Liv ended up going to SmackDown during the Superstar shakeup. Ruby needed double shoulder surgery, I believe, and I don't know how the fuck she managed to work through that. Read up on Ruby Riott's injuries. It's actually remarkable she was able to even keep working through that. And she felt it was her fault. It wasn't her fault. Just be clear on that. And I love Ruby Riott, and I hope that she gets many opportunities along with Liv Morgan. Liv was emotional about going to SmackDown, She talked about, being 5 years old and seeing WWE and, with her older brothers, just watching this stuff, and just how she was absolutely enthralled by it. And from an early age, I can identify with that. At 4 years old, I saw War to Sell the Score at a friend's house, and I was absolutely freaking just enthralled because, I'm seeing wrestling for the first time. And then there's Tape Trade and a whole bunch of stuff. I have loved wrestling since I was 4 years old. And she's, at 5 years old, you're very impressionable, and seeing that, it gave her an escape. It gave her an out. She never knew her dad because he died a few months before she was born, I believe of a heart attack, and that's absolutely terrible. I'm sure her dad would be proud of her. It's just terrible she never got to know her dad. Single mother, raising multiple kids, and it wasn't easy. The mother seemed very gracious, but also very honest, that it wasn't easy, but that she knew that her daughter would achieve something big. Liv was even quoted, WWE gave me a purpose from an early age. Makeshift ring in the backyard with pear tree branches, I believe, and cushions, and 200 feet of laundry, of sheets and stuff like that. It was actually pretty cool. And she did have to drop out in the 10th grade, but she did, lived it. And then she made her, she got her GED. She started working at Hooters, learned a lot about life and learning how to promote herself, that kind of stuff, work and, achieve, great things. She started doing, some training to get in better shape, get in better shape as far as condition to be an athlete, because she was a cheerleader in high school. And you do have to be an athlete to do that stuff because it is difficult. Summer 2014, she got a tryout, and then she got a job offer at the age of 19 over 4th of July weekend. She was obviously emotional. Her brothers are happy for her. It was a tough go. She had to practice her promos, her mirrors. She had to practice promos in, the bathroom mirror and keep practicing on stuff. It's repetition. You got to get better. And she talks about, coming in with Aaliyah. Aaliyah's still down in NXT and probably always will be. But that for the next couple of years, she was honing her craft. We could see her footage of her emotional after her first match at a live event on, in NXT in Florida, or NXT live event in Florida, I believe. And then, November 21st, 2017, they're called up and they're going to be the Riot Squad. Ruby Riot, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. And Liv wasn't sure how she would fit in with them. But that date meant so much to them, and they mean so much to each other. I believe they got the date tattooed on either the back of their necks or at least their wrists. But credit to them for, one, dedicating, a piece of their body to that, but also that's how much each of them mean to each other. And that's good. It's really good to find lifelong friends. They were going to make an impact. And then we go to her singles run on SmackDown. Weeks go by. It's like 13 weeks. And then she's going to face Charlotte. And her mom was thrilled for the match. I remember the match very well because I remember thinking with Chris, my best friend. For those that are new to the channel, go back and watch some of the videos from earlier this year. You'll see a guy in a derby. It's my best friend, best brother I could ever ask for. Even though he's not my brother, he is my brother. But we talked about that and we're just like, okay, maybe this will mean something for her. And then they didn't fucking use her. It was just so goddamn weird. She said, next time I come back, I'm going to be real. Liv greets the fans while Bayley praises her. And, that they don't have anything for Liv. They don't have anything for her at all. She pitched characters, a darker character, dark but beautiful. September 2019, we want stripped down Liv. No, not that way. Dark match with Ember gets cut off 30 seconds before it's supposed to happen. And she was upset. They didn't want to see it. They did not want her to be seen in her final form, basically, is what it came down to. Then Liv got drafted to Raw a little bit later. Heyman saw something in her. Said, she doesn't have a defined role. Her daughter, or his daughter, who's a teen, says, it's like, stop trying to define me. Liv can't be defined. He saw something. Heyman, as far as a creative guy, sometimes can be pretty good. Except, and I'm sorry, and this is not Liv's fault. And you know what? I'm not even going to knock Lana. I'm not even going to knock Lashley. You can check out my rant that I did about the December 30th, 2019 Raw, and you can check that out in full. All I'm going to say is it was embarrassing. It was not a good use of Liv. Now, Liv made the most of it. Liv was doing everything she could to make it work. It was a bad use of her. She did what she could, but it was a bad use of her. Total 180 from what we've been seeing. Vignettes of her in the bathtub, her saying a darker look and everything. And this is bad. This was really fucking bad. Now, she did what she could, but she didn't really have the confidence. Can't blame her because it wasn't the best way to introduce her. Not knocking Liv. Mania 36 got reworked. It was wild that it took place in the Performance Center. And then Liv versus Natty on the pre-show. Liv's first win at Mania. How grateful she is. Grateful to a fault. Moms, it's definitely all on you. It's definitely all you. It's definitely all you, and we love you no matter what. And that's great. That's what any kid would want, is the love of their parents. And like she says, what would you say to what would 26-year-old Liv say to, 6-year-old? I'm not going to use her real name, even though they did in the documentary, because I don't know her. That's just what I'm going to say right there. Be kind, relax. You're going to do everything you want, and it's going to be everything you want to do. And she got really emotional, and it got me, so I'll give her that much credit. This is a pretty good documentary, though. 43 minutes. I didn't get to really go into everything. There was some good emotion. I think if they made an hour, they could have gone a little bit longer, but it is what it is. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm Charles Retlin. I'll see you soon.